Hello everyone, my name is Alexey and today I want to tell you about pseudo-elements in CSS. If you are not familiar with pseudo-elements, it's before and after, and maybe you have seen this in other projects. Basically, it's one of the most important part of the CSS, and it allows you to create dynamic and powerful web pages without tons of the JavaScript. So let's figure out how to deal with pseudo-elements. So press like and let's get started now. Okay, let's start our practice with pseudo-elements. And firstly, I need to say that how to declare our pseudo-elements. So we have two types of pseudo-elements. It's before and after. And for example, we have label and it has class car name. And we need to declare pseudo-elements for it. And firstly, what we need to write. So we can write, for example, before or after. Let's write before. And we can write pseudo-element through one column. It was initially in specification this declaration of pseudo-elements, but in CSS 3 specification was changed, and now we need to declare pseudo-elements through two columns. So if you will declare with one column, it will be okay, but according to specification, all pseudo-elements should be declared with two columns. Okay, let's continue our introduction to pseudo-elements and let's create our pseudo-element for label. So we can use before, and we need to provide display, for example, block. Also width will be 15 pixels. The same for height. And the same for background color. So background color blue-violet. And also I think we need to write margin auto. Cool. And as we can see, nothing has appeared on our web page. Why? Because all pseudo-elements before and after requires content property. So content should be by default an empty string, but it could be placed here. In other variant, it won't be displayed on the page. Cool. And let's save. And as we can see, we have our pseudo element. It blue-violet square, and we can do the same for after. So the same for after, and it will be, for example, background color will be green. Cool. So before and after name your car, content of our label, we have two pseudo elements. It's blue-violet square and green square. And this interesting thing I need to show you. So if we will inspect our code, we will see that our before and after elements are placed before and after content of a specific tag. If we have in our code self-closing tag, like input, we can't apply before and after to this tag. So we can write input here, so it will be input. And our blue-violet square has disappeared because it couldn't be applied to input. Yes, let's return it back. And let's do something useful, because blue-violet and green squares don't seem like something useful on the web page. Let's do something useful with pseudo-elements, and for example, it could be tooltip. Okay, let's create a tooltip, and before we will start creating a tooltip, I need to say that we can place in before some content. So content property, it should be string, it could be VSW, WSW, and it will appear before our content. And it could be, for example, asterisk. Okay. And the same thing we can do reading the content through our specific CSS functions, like utter for reading an attribute. And let's create data tooltip for our button. So for example, we will have data attribute data tooltip, and it will be some tooltip. Cool, amazing. And then we need to have some styles. So data tooltip will be position relative. So position relative, and then we need to provide styles for our tooltip, and let's do it. So for example, we will have data tooltip after, so it will be after, and the content of our tooltip will be in data tooltip. So it will be some tooltip. We need to just read this with attribute. So nice. As we can see, we have some tooltip here, and we need to position our element absolute. Position absolute. Cool. It's not so nice for now, but will be better soon. So top 100%. Top 100%. Then left 0, right 0. Also we need to have a margin top, so margin top will be 5 pixels, and we will have padding. It also will be 5 pixels. Let's discover what we have. We have some tooltip, yes. And then we need to define background color. For example, it could be light gray, so background color will be light gray. Nice. We'll have some tooltip here. And that's it. Our tooltip is ready. For example, how it is ready, because we can provide here before after hover. So these styles will be applied only when we will hover our mouse through element. So hover and after. Okay, and if we will hover over our submit button, our tooltip will appear. And we can write some animations and other things for it, and it will work. So we can create tooltips, cute and nice tooltips for our elements. And also I need to mention that every element on the page can have only one after and only one before pseudo element, and if we will try to allow more than one before or more than one after, it won't work. So that's it. We've created tooltip just in a couple of minutes. And for example, you will receive data from the server, for example, some text for button, and also additional information with explanation what is it, and place it into tooltip, and then just read it in styles and have cute tooltips on your elements. Okay, in this video we have seen what pseudo-elements are and how properly use them on a page. We saw that even a regular tooltip can be implemented on the CSS without JavaScript. You also can add tooltips, various decoration for an element using pseudo-elements. Also tell me in the comments if video was useful and how you used pseudo-elements in your project. So that's it. Please like, subscribe, stay tuned. Please follow my Telegram channel and check the description. Bye.